Okay, let's start. My name is Volodymyr. Nice to meet you guys. So we are a small company. We develop web applications, and our main client, typically comes to us with a small idea, and we try to build this idea as quick as possible. And after when we build it and launch it, typically clients came to us and ask for quick grow. So another type of our client, and this kind of client came to us with already made application by another company or by some another team of developers, and ask us for support. And very often we have big troubles with it, because application is not ready to quick development, to develop new features very fast. And we started to think about it, how to solve this problem from the start, from the beginning. And I just want to share right now our attempt how to fix it. Typically what we have on the start. So we have a simple MVP solution. So we have a idea generation process, we have an implementation process, measuring and learning. And into MVP, it's some kind of process. We just need to understand the real client's needs and adapt software for their needs. So we have a small, simple application, and sometimes our clients find a really good niche and they start to grow. And on this stage, it's like more ideas, more implementation, more measuring, and more learning. So this is a time for acceleration. And we are very often on this stage from our to our small application, try to connect a lot of different companies, departments. So on the start it was a really small application and only final users try to use it. But when we just start to grow, very often company start to be bigger and bigger, and we need to provide interfaces for different part of a company. So for example, this is how typically small startup can go to enterprise step by step. And very often we have a question, okay, so if we just put more developers, can we move faster? So this is some kind of chart. We have 8 iterations, and step by step we just try to increase number of developers on our project. So team productivity rate, just grow not so fast as number of developers. Productivity by person, this is something like this, go down. A cost for development sprint by sprint, just increase more and more. And what's wrong with it? The one lie each developer try to believe, we can clean it later. So we just need to go to market very fast. But my opinion, we like engineers, we need to know how to solve this kind of problems. How to implement feature fast, how to scale development fast, how to conduct our test fast, how simple and fast deploy, simple architecture scaling, and ability to add more technology stacks. Into Rails way, it's very difficult to do. So, and yeah, I want to raise topic of architecture. Yeah, architecture is something like we need to figure out how exactly into our big building we want to have some kind of rooms. And the design, it's about how exactly we these rooms plan to build. So our solution approach, what we use right now, like Ruby on Rails developers, yeah, right now it's Monolith First, yeah, because we are not ready to go with SOA right now, yeah, and with microservices, because we don't know businesses of our clients very deep, yeah, because we can create a good quality microservices architecture only if we know how exactly a company works. Very often our clients also don't know how the company works. And yeah, on top of Monolith First, we want to try the clean architecture approach. Maybe someone heard about it before? Okay. So yeah, just a quick recap. Sorry, quick introduction. So the main goal of this kind of architecture is to be independent of any tools, independent of delivery mechanism, and yeah, it's stability and yeah, total isolation around business logic. Actually, the clear architecture is not something new. It's some kind of mix to another architecture's approaches. It's about hexagonal and union architectures. So the hexagonal architecture, the main idea is to have an external layer representing delivery mechanism and infrastructure, and internal layer representing only about business logic. So it means, yeah, all our business logic independent inside of our application, and all external services, databases, some kind of services what we try to use. Yeah, this kind of services should be isolated, and for each service we need to have some kind of adapters to connect and to work with the services. And if we want to change some service outside of our application, we can do it very simply, yeah, because it's not integrated into our business logic. We just need to rewrite adapter. Onion architecture, it's about our outer layers depends on our inner layers, and inner layers do not know nothing about our outer layers. It means our business logic know nothing about our layer of application. Our entities shouldn't know something about our, for example, view part and representative layer. Yeah, this is something like this. And yeah, the clean architecture just try to combine these principles, and we try to implement it inside of Rails application. So yeah, it was about architecture. Right now we go to design. So yeah, we choose these numbers of patterns and tools to implement clean architecture into Rails application. So we have entity. Entity, it's pure class or active record, but without any dependency. We have an aggregator. This is also a pure class or active record entity but this is some kind of entity provide access to another child entities. Yeah, for example, we have a product and we have a list of variants of this product. Or we have a list of images. Yeah, we can say product has many images. So it means in this case, product will be aggregator, and we can have access to images of product only through this entity. Repository. Yeah, this is some kind of connection adapter to our database. So all queries to our data storages we plan to do through a repository. Use case. Yeah, this is some kind of piece of business logic that should be implemented. We choose a Trailblazer operation for it, yeah, because it's a really good tool to implement use cases. For a factory, we choose Trailblazer reform because it's a really good implementation, on our opinion, for a factory. Yeah, it means this way we want to put data into our storages, into our database. Value object, struct. So value object we plan to use between manipulation data between services when we plan to go to microservices. Presenter, yeah, this is something what we try to provide to a client application. So yeah, this is a typical serializer. Policy, Trailblazer policy and Pandit, and view, all view our right now on the client side. This is a React.js. Maybe you guys have something similar into your. Okay. And yeah, how we combine it all together. So we have application structure, and it's a little bit different if we just try to compare it with Rails way. So we have a directory, it's called apps, and we have a list of applications inside of it. So the main idea of clean architecture just to separate applications and domain logic. So, for example, yeah, we have a list of applications. We have some Storefront application. We have application for admin panel. Yeah, this is two different type of applications. And yeah, we decided to just to split it out. And another important directory, it calls domains. So, and yeah, we try to put all business logic inside of domains. So, for example, we have a authentication logic. We have a logic it calls catalog. It's about products. We have a logic about our customers. So, and yeah, we decided split this way. Yeah, how to split business logic on domains. So actually, yeah, this is some kind of question what we need to ask our client about business or person who is responsible for that. For example, project manager or business analyst. So how we can map it on a clean architecture? Yeah, we have some kind of requests to our application, and we have an entry point. Yeah, it's typically controllers, roles and controllers, and we have inside of business logic of our application. So typically we start with use cases, and these use cases manipulate with entities. And yeah, use cases also manipulate with different type of storages, and entities very often map it on the storages. This is how ORM works, like ROM or like Active Record. And how applications and domains communicate with each other. So we have applications level, and they can use public use cases to have access to business logic. Yeah, a little bit more and deeper with our domains and tools. Yeah, what we decided to use. So we have a concept. Yeah, this is from Trailblazer. We have a contract to work with forms. We have an operation. Yeah, this is our use cases. We have a models. This is our entities. And we have a repository. We use repository to communicate with database storages. Yeah, also we could have uploaders, policy. Yeah, this is all the stuff inside of our domain logic, and yeah, it should be separated from application logic. So about entity. Yeah, this is Active Record base class, but how you can see, we have only some methods and functions manipulate with this type of data, and typically we do not provide ability to communicate with this kind of object directly. And we have Aggregator. This is also could be Active Record base class, and this we can use some kind of child entities through this aggregator. It helps us to prepare our application for a scale and for a service-oriented architecture in the future. This kind of design patterns we just borrow from domain-driven design. Yeah, we have some homemade implementation of repository. So, and we try to work with database through repository, and it's very useful in terms of, yeah, for example, if we decide to move from SQL database to document-oriented database, we just need to change repository implementation. All logic, all another business logic, yeah, we will be able to use the same way. Yeah, this is simple interface of repository. Yeah, it's automatically will be mapped on our aggregator and provide ability to work with some standard interface like create, delete, get all, and so on. Typically, yeah, a repository will be created only for aggregator. Factory. Yeah, with factory all is pretty clear. Yeah, we have a reform, and yeah, we use it to we use this tool to implement a factory approach. Domain use cases. So to implement domain use cases, we use Trailblazer operation. So it's good enough. Yeah. Guys, maybe also, do you use Trailblazer operation? Yeah, and this is application logic and application infrastructure. So what we have here. Yeah, before we just figure out this domain file structure. Yeah, this is a Storefront Application. So yeah, we have assets, we have also concepts, we have controllers. Yeah, we have some kind of operations, but these operations, it's level of application, not domain logic. We will see the difference. And we have a presentation implemented into our serializers. So also, all is pretty simple. Yeah, we have a controller, and yeah, we just need to figure out what kind of action and what kind of activity we just need to do. So, and this is a level of operation on application level. Yeah, this is also looks pretty standard approach if we use Trailblazer operation. Yeah, but only one difference. Yeah, application use case typically use domain use case. So why we need this kind of two levels of use cases? Yeah, because application use case can use different type of domains. Yeah, and this is some kind of operation aggregator. Yeah, to communicate with domains and to pull all information, prepare a good quality response, and provide it to a client application. And yeah, presenter, also all is clear. Yeah, we have a serializer, any magic here. And yeah, if we just split our application on so small pieces, yeah, our test strategy will be pretty simple to implement. Yeah, we will have a lot of unit tests. We have some acceptance tests or functional tests, and yeah, some a little bit manual testing. So yeah, but main approach to cover all these unit tests more than another type of tests, because these tests run very fast and it's very cheap to create, to remove, and to change. Because yeah, acceptance tests, we need to work with the whole application, we need to connect some kind of browser emulator, and manual tests, yeah, it's just human resources. Yeah, and but we continue to use Rails. Yeah, inside of Rails, a lot of tools, a lot of useful engines, and yeah, this kind of tools and engines speed up our development process and provide to us ability to implement some cool stuff to our clients very quick. For example, ActiveAdmin. Maybe someone uses tool? Yeah, we use ActiveAdmin to create, it's some kind of constructor to create a very quick way. It's a CMS solution, some kind of admin panel for our clients, and they will be able to manage any type of data. Yeah, but ActiveAdmin use a Rails way, and clean architecture, it's not something like about Rails way at all. So, and yeah, anyway, we can use admin panel like ActiveAdmin into our application. So we just create a separate application inside of our project and put all necessary inside of it. And yeah, also models will be on application level, but we will not use these models into our domain logic. So yeah, these models will be created only for ActiveAdmin and provide ability to ActiveAdmin generate admin panel very quick way. But anyway, we will continue to use our operations approach. Yeah, and also we will provide ability to our admin panel to use our domain logic into our application. Yeah, so we still have access to ActiveAdmin DSL. Yeah, as I mentioned, we continue to use some standard way of Active Record and Rails way, but only for ActiveAdmin. And inside of our controllers, yeah, we can use the same approach with operations and with the domain logic. And yeah, we can use view only for some separate application. Yeah, because Storefront and admin, two separate applications. And yeah, next step, it's physical splitting, physical separation of app. Yeah, because if we found a good way to create domains, if we found a good way to split applications, so the next step, and it's some kind of natural step, yeah, to split our Rails application to multiple applications in general. And it's provide to us ability to split development teams and to provide ability to some specific development teams to focus on some specific domain. And yeah, another question is about how to provide ability to communicate between these apps. Yeah. And some kind of fresh solution, gRPC. Maybe someone already tried it, guys. Okay, short introduction. So yeah, gRPC, it's based on RPC protocol, and this protocol use buffers for serializers, and if to be really short, yeah, it's much faster than classical JSON API and any type of messaging system what was created before. So this tool was provided by Google, yeah, and it's really fast because it's have good level of comparison of when we just try to transfer data between services, and it's very good speed when we try to pack and unpack information. So okay, we decided to split, for example, our authentication approach to separate service. How gRPC can help to us? Yeah, we can just create a separate application. Yeah, for example, before this application was inside of our main Rails project. Yeah, but right now we decided to move it out. And of course, before we used clean architecture approach, and it's possible to do. We can just check how it works, and it's really pretty simple. So we can use Groove gem to connect with gRPC. And yeah, this approach provides to us ability to call some kind of functions and methods outside of our application, but the same way. So inside of our application, yeah, we just have a RPC directory, and inside of it we have some controllers. Yeah, this is also entry point. Yeah, gRPC use HTTP 2 protocol. Yeah, and some kind of approaches inside of this protocol also provide ability to transfer data faster than into our classical HTTP. So what we have here, we have a proto file. This proto file just describes our way of communication. We have a controller. This is entry point. Yeah, like standard active record control, something like this. And these files will be generated automatically. We don't need to touch it at all. So what inside of proto file? So all pretty simple. We just create a service. We just create some kind of action for this service. In our case, sign in. And yeah, we just have a sign in request and sign in response. And we just describe this type of messages, sign in request. We have a email, password, and remember flag. And sign in response, we have a just authentication token back. And yeah, this is how looks authentication controller. So we just have a data by this protocol, and yeah, we just prepare params and just address these params to our already prepared operation. So in our case, yeah, just authenticate a user. So, and yeah, it's just completely separated application, and we can just send data to the server, and the server just provide to us authentication token if a user exists. Yeah, this is a two files what we don't need to edit at all, so it will be generated automatically to us. And yeah, how we used before into admin panel our authorization process. So we just used authentication domain, and we used some domain operation, and that's all. Into our case, yeah, we need to change it a little bit because we created a separate application, absolutely physically separate application. So we just need to start to use a client, and we just need to say we plan to use some specific service, authentication session, and we just need to call this client and provide all necessary information. So into our case, it will be email, password, and some flag about remember me. And after that, we just send this request to our new application through gRPC, and we have a result. And yeah, so and it looks like pretty the same like we did it before. We just need to change a couple of pieces of code into our operation, into our use case. So yeah, this is a way how we started to, how to say, be more business oriented, yeah, and as developers, we need to be more prepared for it. To do things from the start a right way. So if this kind of speech was pretty motivated to you guys, I'm just propose to you to continue this journey. Yeah, you can check a clean architecture from Uncle Bob, and yeah, this blue book, domain-driven design, like a next step to investigate this process. So, any questions?
Thanks, Volodymyr. Okay, questions? Okay, I have one question about deployment. As I understand, you have one single code base, and inside folder apps, you have a number of applications. But you said also that you have complete separation between this application, and you, as I understand, you have completely separate deployment for each instance. The question is how are they connected inside one code base? So is it engines or something? And you also said about that you are able to connect different teams to each application, but you have shared lib. As I understand, all of them are using the same core logic and lib or the same entities, and it could be like breakage. So if somebody break core logic, so all your apps also would be broken. So how do you manage this?
Thank you. Yeah, if we're talking about start of development, yeah, it's Monolith First. So all logic just inside of one Rails application. So when we just move forward, yeah, the question about deployment. Yeah, we use Chef to deploy and to manage infrastructure. So typically all automated on our projects. When we decide to split one project to multiple applications, yeah, it means this application is pretty ready to be supported by separate teams, yeah, and they just communicate between each other through some specific API or some specific protocol. So it's some kind of request from one team to another team to provide some specific entry points and some specific information. Have I forgot about something?
But actually, do these applications use the same core business logic? As I understand, they are initially this, one single solid code base, but just separated into folders. How do you deploy each application separate? Do you run, for example, Storefront and then admin application, like exactly different instances on different servers, for example?
On the start?
Not only on the start, but maybe later on when you have...
On the start, this is one code base. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, this is a monolith application, and we deploy it like one application. When we decided to separate it, yeah, this is two absolutely different applications, and these applications just managed by own teams. For example, we have a separate Storefront and a separate admin panel. So, and this is two separate Ruby on Rails applications. Yeah, and they just follow some own.
Okay, and they do not reuse any kind of shared code.
If we need to use a shared code, we communicate between applications through let me show to you. Through gRPC protocol, and its provide ability to call a procedure remotely. It means, for example, if we have some specific domain like authentication, yeah, one application can just, into our case, this is admin panel, and admin panel just use client to provide login and password to another application, and this authentication application just check it and provide a response.
Yeah, so I understand this. But
if we need to get, for example, list of products from another part of domain logic and it's already works separately, it works the same way.
So actually, if you have products in Storefront and products in the admin panel, you would have two different models, for example, for the Storefront and for admin. So it's completely two different code bases. So, okay, I understand.
We have another question
this
here.
active admin, yeah, it's just another story. As I told, yeah, it's active admin, it's Rails way. And yeah, this is two different applications. But if we connect active admin, they use one database. But this is two completely different applications. And it's possible, yeah, because this is two Rails applications with like schema, yeah, some kind of useful for Active Record, and we use like identity provider and like data mapper ORM Active Record, and this provides to us ability to use the same schema database and do not have any problems.
Okay, thank you. Next question.
Okay, my question is, at the beginning you said that the business logic must be isolated from the way the user use your app. So I've seen that in your slides you work with session inside domain level. Is it correct to put session into domain level into your domain code?
Right.
Or you have a reason to put it
on this slide?
Not on the structure. When you show domain level structure.
Application level, domain level, okay, I see. Application.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, because this is domain of authentication.
Could you explain why do you put it there? What function it?
Yeah, because it's a business logic of because this is a business logic of authentication to create a session.
It's not the session like we used to use in Rails. It's a different session. It's a business.
Yeah,
oh,
you're right.
Thank you.
Okay, we have next question.
One question is, have you tried using some kind of messaging broker for inter-app communication? Or is it over HTTP, this calls is done?
We plan to organize event-driven model, but we didn't start with it yet.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, we have one.
Not actually a question. I just wanted to say big thanks for your digests on developers.org UA. He's too humble to announce that, but you're doing great job.
Thank you. This is a team. This is not only me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.